I'm super happy to see all of you here. Today, before I begin my speech, let me ask you one simple question. Have you ever felt lazy or unsure about what to do next? If you have, please raise your hands or you can just say yes. Wow, you're not alone. We are humans, and there are moments when I feel stuck or unmotivated as well. Moments when I don't know which direction to choose, moments when I question myself, or even small steps. Even small steps feel heavy. Today, I'd like to share a personal story with you about how to move forward, not only when things go wrong, but also when things go right. Because sometimes success can stop us just as much as failure. And today, as a topic, I chose IELTS and SAT exams because I thought it would be more relatable to you. At least 80% of you here either study or have IELTS and SAT certificates. So let's begin. When I was preparing for my IELTS exam, I thought that getting a high score was my ultimate goal. My whole life revolved around listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Every day had its clear purpose, every hour had meaning. And I thought that once I earned my certificate, I would finally feel complete, finally feel calm, and finally feel proud of myself. And I achieved my score. For a moment, it felt amazing because all the sacrifices, the long study hours, the missed social media time, and the distance from friends, everything felt worth it. Then I decided to rest because I told myself I deserved this. But this short rest turned into almost a month of doing nothing meaningful. No clear goal, no direction, no plan. I just attended my mother tongue course, not because it was a part of a plan, but because I genuinely didn't know what to do next, and that confused me. Then, at that moment, I realized something important. IELTS was not my final goal. It was a small step inside a much bigger journey. And that changed the way I think about success. Today, because I felt lost and wasted time, I came up with a question that can guide you when when you succeed, when you fail, or if you feel stuck. And so, how can you define your next move? Well, ask yourself one of these three questions. Did I succeed? Did I fail? Or am I simply stuck? Let's begin with success. If you succeeded, that's amazing. Truly, celebrate it because you worked hard, you earned that moment. But do not stay there for too long, because sometimes success can be dangerous. Not because it's bad, but because it makes us feel comfortable. We start to think that, well, I worked hard and I need rest. Yes, rest is healthy, rest is necessary. However, do not let comfort become a permanent home. Instead of stopping, zoom out. Ask yourself, what doors did this success open? What skills did I gain? Or what is the next step toward my bigger goal? What is the next level of my journey? And that's exactly what I did. I made a decision. I started to prepare for the SAT. If you succeeded, that's amazing. But let's talk about failure. If you what did you try but it doesn't work? So many people think that failure means you're not smart enough, you're not talented enough, or you aren't meant for success. However, failure is not a final answer. Failure is information. It tells us that our strategy, not our potential, needs to change. And for example, when I was preparing for the SAT, I struggled a lot with math because I didn't have fundamentals. Every problem looked impossible. Every mistake felt personal. And at that time, at some point, I even thought about giving up and wondered if it wasn't meant for me. Then one day, something small but really, really powerful thing happened. I came across a video of myself explaining reading questions, and I saw a very different version of myself. I was a passionate, disciplined girl who didn't give up easily, and I realized that girl is still me. I just forgot. So I started again. Then I found some practice books and I studied a little every day. Slowly, the questions became clearer. Slowly, my confidence returned. And at that time, I realized if you keep trying, you improve. Always. And also, failure taught me something really valuable during my first Moon conference. I didn't get the best speaker award, but it gave me something more valuable than a certificate. I learned the importance of networking, teamwork, and collaboration. I made a lot of friends from every corner of Uzbekistan, and that was my real success. And I realized sometimes success can be invisible. So, the next time if I participate, I will not start from zero. I will start from experience, and that is really powerful. Let me ask you another question. Are you stuck or just simply feeling lazy? And if you feel stuck, ask yourself this question. What is the smallest action I can take today that will move me 1% forward? Not a huge step, not a perfect plan, just 1%. For example, you have to read an 800-page book. It feels impossible, right? But at that time, you should trick your brain and say to yourself, I'll just read 2 pages. That sounds easy, but once you begin, something magical happens. 2 becomes 10, 10 becomes 30, and suddenly progress appears. And the most important rule is simple, just start. Because motion creates motivation, not the other way around. Not tomorrow, not next year, today. So the main message of my speech today is success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Your life will have victories. Your life will have mistakes. Your life will have confusing moments when nothing feels clear. And at that time, there is only one question that can guide you. What is my next move? And before I leave this stage, I want you to remember this truth. Life is not measured by the moments of comfort or by the easy wins. Life is measured by how we respond when things are hard, when nothing feels to move, or when we feel like give up. And at this time, these are the moments that define us, not the moments when we feel unstoppable. Imagine a seed buried in the soil. It doesn't grow because it wants to or it feels ready. It grows because it keeps pushing through the darkness inch by inch until it reaches the sunlight. And the same progress can happen in real life too. This small invisible efforts can lead to remarkable growth that we cannot see at first. And sometimes success is not about just speed, it's about consistency. You may take 2 steps forward, but 1 step back. You may stumble, you may fall, but every time you get up, you're learning, you're improving, and you're moving closer to your goal, even if it doesn't feel like it. Think of the people who you admire most in life. Not the ones who've never failed, but the ones who didn't quit. The ones who continued when everyone else had given up. The ones who took another small step after another, quietly building their life they dreamed of. That could be you, and that should be you. And as you leave here today, ask yourself, what is my next move? And one day you will look back and realize that those small steps, the moments of persistence, courage, and hope, build the life you could have never imagined. Because your next move might change everything. Thank you.